Hello there heroes, I'm the Orange Ranger and welcome to a special Power Morphicon video for Orange Ranger videos. This is my first video in what I'm hoping will actually be a series of Power Morphicon content where you're going to learn what I got at the convention, my feelings on the convention, see pictures and video from this amazing event. As you can probably hear from my tone, the event is actually over, but I still had this opportunity while I was in this hotel to put together some videos, which I wanted to do while I was here in California, about Power Morphicon stuff that is happening. Power Morpha content, you might call it. So in this first video, we're going to talk about the swag. Now, what is swag? Some people might dial that definition down into being free items that are given to you by a convention, an event, an organization, etc. In this case, I'm using it in a more general sense to define convention merchandise. You're going to see convention merchandise that was given to me as an attendee. You're going to see stuff that I bought directly from the convention that they were selling officially. And you're going to see some stuff that I just bought from various dealers in the dealer's alley. All of it, to me, is swag. So I figure we will start with what I'm wearing right now. Not the Orange Ranger overshirt. I am talking about the official 2018 Power Morphicon t-shirt. I'm going to be putting in some footage of items here. The Power Morphicon 2018 t-shirt is very nice in my opinion. It features the main convention logo for 2018, which as in the past has been a Ranger from the past, a Ranger from the present, and a Ranger from the future. You see up here, you see the faded helmet of Mighty Morphin Red, which is fitting of celebrating the 25th anniversary of both Mighty Morphin as well as the entire franchise. And down bottom right, you can see Beast Morphers Red. That is our brand new Red Ranger from the Go Busters footage, obviously. Then in the middle, you have Lord Draken. I heard some people criticize this choice, saying that that should have been Brody, but there are no rules when it comes to this. It's only a Ranger from the present. It could have very well been any of the Mighty Morphin Rangers from the Boom comics going on right now. But Lord Draken has definitely become a major figure in this fandom and has just captured the imagination of so many who love the franchise and love the comic books. So, of course, it would be fitting that he would play a prominent role in this shirt here. Next up is a very special item that actually was only provided to registrations of Silver Ranger or above. I registered at Silver Ranger. This may have been the cause of some confusion for me because for some reason I didn't think I was getting this, and then I got confused about like, well, I guess I ordered a hoodie, but I guess it's not going to be this one, and I was disappointed, and then I was really happy to see them grab one and put it into my bag. You may have seen that in some vlog footage or something, I'm not sure, but here it is. This is the official Power Morphicon convention hoodie for 2018, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, those are the Beast Morpher Power Rangers. I was very excited to get this. I do believe it's the first official piece of Beast Morphers merchandise, you know, to pop up, since that was kind of officially revealed here at Power Morphicon. This is a 3X, of course. The fabric is nice and soft. The hood was very good, fitting around the head and all that, and it has the standard, you know, pull strings. And on the back, there is a logo for Power Morphicon. The next item I also found a little bit of confusion about, but I'm glad to have gotten each of these because I thought it had said we were getting a print, at least at Silver Ranger level, but it turns out we're getting 3. There is one print, and it is the man of the hour, so to speak, Lord Draken. It's a fantastic print. It looks great in the Boom comic style, obviously. And the second print is going to look very familiar to you all if you look at my shirt, because it is the convention logo on a print. Now this one does have Hasbro's logo down at the bottom, as well as the Saban's Power Rangers logo. Lord Draken, Mighty Morphin Red, Beast Morphers Red. But this is the cool one. And before I even display it on screen, I want to try to see if there's like an artist signature. Of course there is, but it's just scribbled cursive. I'll try to put an attribution on the screen as I'm showing this, because I'm sure I can find out who's responsible. Ta-da! This is beautiful artwork of the Beast Morphers 3 primary Zords. You have the red cheetah there, the blue gorilla, and the yellow rabbit. Just, that's an excellent piece. These are going up in my room when I get home, and I was happy to get each of those. Now we're going to move on to smaller items that were included. And this actually is going to transition a little bit into some other stuff I bought, but since they're similar items, I'm going to include them here, even though I have a distinct section set up for things that I bought on the show floor. So, as part of the Silver Ranger package, one of the things that were included were convention medallions. And you can see here, again, pretty obviously, the face on the coins is Lord Draken's helmet from the side. And on the back it says Power Morphicon in the colored logo, which I think is really nice. August 17th through 19th, 2018, Anaheim Convention Center, Anaheim, California. And also it has the green and yellow of Lord Draken's coin symbol, which is, you can see, kind of a mixture of the tiger claw and dragon claw from the Dragon Zord and Tiger Zord power coins. Being silver, I got 2 different versions of this coin. Funnily enough, one is silver and one is gold, and you would think the gold coin would go to the Gold Ranger level, but I suppose that the gold coin is actually the standard convention coin, and then I got this coin because Silver Ranger. So, nifty. Now we're going to move on to pins, although the situation with pins is a little bit interesting. I will tell you now that the pin I got is one that I can't exactly show you. If by the time I'm editing this I find some pictures of it online, I will put them up here. But it was the front helmet face of the blue Beast Morphers Ranger. So I got 2 copies of that pin. Funnily enough, as it would turn out, I ended up trading them both. I traded one of them to Matt, since he had a duplicate, and that got me this pin, which I will show you all. This is a pin version. This is a very intricate kind of description of what this is. This is a pin version of the Funko Pop of the black and gold original Megazord. So, yeah, that's a very interesting thing to have a pin of. That was a convention exclusive, I believe, so it's neat that they had a pin made up for it. I will say the detailing is very intricate on the smaller parts, the arms and legs and everything. Pretty neat. Like I said, I'm never too impressed by alternate color schemes, but it still looks pretty neat. I would actually love to see this pin in its proper colors, but... And the other one I traded within the same brand. That was a fan that approached some of us on the show floor and was like, hey, I'm trading pins, you know. And I held up my bag, and he wanted the other Beast Morphers blue and said, what do you want in exchange? And I was like, well, you know what? That show logo pin is pretty neat. Yes, this is a Beast Morphers logo. It's the kind of polygonal, rectangular, triangular thing that says just Beast Morphers that would sit below the Saban's Power Rangers logo. And it's pretty neat. I actually really like having the logo besides a particular Ranger. So I'm glad that I got this. Another pin that I got that I believe it was said was specifically designated for the Silver Ranger package was the rectangular anniversary logo you've seen before, with the Red Ranger kicking, and it says, you know, Power Rangers 25 years and etc. I ended up trading that pin as well, and that was one of the more interesting trades because I did that trade with Mr. Jason Bischoff of Hasbro, who had posted on Twitter that he was looking to trade pins with people who came and met him at the booth. So I went up, and he was actually very gracious about it. It seemed more like he was interested in just the process of pin trading as a way of meeting people, getting to know them. I'd already met him once. I was just responding to his tweet, you know. So he showed me first what he had, you know, and I'm looking, and I'm like, well, I really like this pin. And then I remember I held up my bag, and he was like, ooh, what can I pick? All your pins are really good. And I told him that he could pick, or I was like, you can pretty much pick anything, which made me hesitate for a second because I had a couple pins on my bag that I had purchased from the show floor, and I had a couple pins on my bag that I had purchased in other places. I was a little nervous that he was going to pick my CV Megazord head pin, but he ended up picking the anniversary pin, the Silver Ranger level 25th anniversary. And what I got in exchange was this Lord Draken's helmet from the side, as seen on the coins, but as a pin. And I just thought that was really cool. I like the detailing on it. The detailing is ridged. All of the markings on there, you know, the visor's a little set in. The detailing is popped up a little bit. Very nice pin. These two are the ones I was talking about when I said that I was bringing in something that I had purchased on the show floor. I purchased these two pins at the Boom Studios booth when I bought a comic that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. I have the original Power Rangers Lightning Bolt, the yellow one, and then I have its dark damaged copy, the logo of Shattered Grid. I've always loved the Lightning Bolt logo. I have said definitively that it is going to be my first tattoo one day. That makes the Shattered Grid Bolt logo more effective as a logo. It's more impactful because the cracks running down it and everything, it is still indicative of what it represents, but just all the cracks and damage and being dark black and silver instead of bright yellow. Very, very nice. We are now going to make that promised transition over into items that I purchased on the show floor itself, in the dealer's alleys and everything, not even associated with the convention. For the first one, I actually kind of need to run something by you, heroes, so I was wondering if you would let me ask you a question. How does this look on me? Sasori. I saw people walking around the convention with Q Ranger masks, and a neat thing about them, and you see this in some of the vlog footage that I did the same thing, is people are obviously not walking around the convention wearing masks because, number one, I don't think that's allowed, and number two, it's still uncomfortable. I could see through this, by the way. All of the dark sections here are see-through, even the ones down here by my cheeks. Anything that's dark on this is actually see-through. I can't see very well, especially since there's elements of the mask right here, but I could definitely see and walk around. However, a lot of the people that purchased this mask were actually wearing it like this, over here, kind of up here. I know at one point I was wearing it like this, and actually when I met Melissa Flores from Hasbro, I was wearing this on top of my head, but she commented that she liked it, so there you go. This is obviously the helmet face of Sasori Orange from Q Ranger, and I knew that I had to pick that up because I am Orange Ranger and I need to stay on brand. That was a running gag throughout the convention this weekend. Orange soda, orange chicken, you know, the Orange Ranger stays on brand. I have to say, I don't think I paid too much for this. I think it was $10, I want to say off the top of my head. It's kind of Halloween mask quality. It's flimsy. You know, don't pack it under something heavy in a suitcase. But for what it is, it's pretty neat. If someone had wanted to drop like $90, $130 or whatever and have the entire set hanging on the wall, that would be pretty neat. I have a wall in my room that has a display of masks on it, funny enough. So this is going to be a welcome addition to that. Is that Sody? This is practically an unboxing, a very late unboxing, but an unboxing just the same. This was purchased at a point where I was walking around later in the convention and going, you know, I do want to buy some things. You know, I wasn't spending as much as I thought, which is a good thing overall, I will say. But I was like, I want to take some stuff home, you know, some neat Tokusatsu Power Rangers stuff that will preferably be orange. And that is when I happened upon this, and I decided to go ahead and get it. I want to say this was $15. This is a Kamen Rider build Hawk full bottle. This is a Kamen Rider build Hawk full bottle. And anybody who has seen Build will know that the reason that I purchased it is because that bottle is orange and it gives Build a set of orange armor on one side of him. Oh no. This box is sealed at the top and the bottom. Oh, there is, what? Huh. There's a perforated indentation here that indicates you're supposed to like push this in and pull the whole thing straight back. Oh, yep. Oh, the flaps were actually just kind of folded into crevices. Anyway, it came with candy, I think. I mean, there's legitimately candy in here. I might have to look up because I put this in my mouth and then it's like, oh, that's actually a potent dryness shipping agent that nobody is ever supposed to eat or they will die within 10 minutes. So the way it's wrapped and the way it looks, it's candy, but I want to make sure of that. Set that aside. And here it is. This is my first ever full bottle. I don't collect a lot. I don't collect much of any Rider merchant. Is this my first piece of Kamen Rider merchandise? I think it might be. I'm trying. Well, I mean, I do have my Kamen Rider Dragon Knight belt that I got when that show was airing, but as far as Japanese, I think my first couple of Japanese purchases were focused on Sentai. I think this is my first piece of Kamen Rider Japanese merchandise. Very interesting. So for those who haven't seen it, the way that Build transforms is it's basically like Double, except that it's only one person in the suit, number one. And number two, it's not entirely split down the middle. It kind of goes in diagonal chunks. And his helmet, the visor pieces on each side represent the different animals and stuff. And the way that a rider transforms is to, I don't know, but I know the main thing is you can shake these, you know, because the riders shake the bottles and then they turn them down for what? And stick them into the build driver, and then there's a crank that's supposed to be like pulling the juice out of this, you know, and then he transforms. And I happened to notice as I flipped it over on the back, there's kind of a clip section that has a series of plastic protrusions. And I know from the way toys are programmed, that is what this set of little bumps, basically, is what would tell the build driver, okay, this is Hawk. It doesn't appear that the bottle has any sort of electronics on its own. There's a cap at the top that twists, but it only stops in the one spot. The plastic is detailed with an image of a hawk. Not bad. The next several items are going to be about paper. This first one is actually really cool. I'm going to set that aside for a moment, but I'm going to bring that back. This first one I think is really cool, and it ties in to anybody who is a Hyperforce fan. We're all really hopeful that Hasbro will, one, of course, bring Hyperforce back for a second season, but also see fit to release an official rule book and system and way that people can run their own Hyperforce games, you know, out there anywhere. Someone has kind of done it already. I would like to introduce you all to Henshin, a Sentai RPG. This is by Tim Batiuk and Sam Cusack. Forgive me if I'm butchering those names. They are from Cave of Monsters Games. And on the back here it says, transform and contend with weird monsters and personal dilemmas. Henshin is a storytelling tabletop game where a group of young heroes transforms into masked heroes. So they're transformed from young heroes into masked heroes. It is inspired by the Japanese Sentai genre, filled with high-energy action sequences and fantastic special effects. And this is basically exactly what we're asking for Hyperforce. It's a rule book for the game. What it is, how you play, what you need to get started, you know, elements that you need to include. It includes these character descriptions for each ranger, which includes a set of names that you can pick, although the last one is always a, like, fill in your own, but it should be this kind of name. Like, for example, for the Red Ranger, they have Adam, Akane, Flynn, Garnet, Jasper, Maple, Rowan, or a commanding name. It kind of describes how they look, and you can choose a connection with one of the other players, and it gives you tasks to do, like you need to, you know, this is how you need to work this character for this character to work how they should. Like, for example, for Red, during play, work towards how you could charge ahead recklessly, rise to the occasion, express wonder, shine the spotlight, and explore self-realization and eventual leadership. And the characters have special abilities and things they can do. Sometimes things they can do always. And yeah, funny enough, just looking through here, their Red Ranger is a girl, their Black Ranger is a girl, their Pink Ranger is a boy. Now, of course, you could change that in your own game, but there's kind of a controversy with that going on right now because there's an upcoming issue, at the very least, if not arc, of Go-Go Power Rangers, where they all swap colors, and Zack ends up being the Pink Ranger. So, you know, and some people are raising a stink about that. It explains the special situations when you bring in an additional Ranger and how you can do that. Funny enough, for this Gold Ranger, they have stickers that are kind of stuck on in places where, you know, it looks like they kind of change stuff at the last minute. And then they even offer a couple of modules that would help you get started. It's like, okay, these are a couple of games that you can play with this story and, like, you know, describing the suits and the weapons and everything and special things you can do within that. They include two. One is called Monster Freak, which is surprisingly close to an idea that I had myself about a team of Power Rangers based on movie monsters. So I found that interesting. And the other is Star Phase, which kind of sounds very similar to Q Ranger. And that is basically it, and it gives you the website there. To be perfectly honest, I kind of bought this book just to support them, I don't think I'm in a place right now where I could run this game or even, you know, find enough people that'd be interested in playing it with me. But I wanted to support this and the idea that we, you know, really like these tabletop RPGs and that they're a great playground for a Power Rangers or Super Sentai type show. Okay, I am kind of running out of juice on this camera, and like a moron, I don't think I... So, heroes, at this point in the video, the battery actually died very quickly after it started notifying me. I could swear that I brought the charger, but if I did, it feels like it would be obvious to me where I set it when I unpacked, and it's not here. So, anyway, I'm going to film all the cutaway shots on my phone, and then I'm just going to do the rest of this on the phone. So, the next stop that I made was actually over at the Boom Studios booth, and I recently have been talking on social media and stuff about how I canceled my subscription to the comics with Boom Studios, not because of the quality of the comics, but because I was completely frustrated with how Boom Studios does their shipping. It almost seems sometimes like they include an intentional delay to give the local comic stores the edge, because they're just very, very passionate about having people support their local comic stores. I canceled my subscription. I got Mighty Morphin 29. Go-Go Power Rangers number 12 is probably waiting for me at home from Boom, but I had actually ordered it from another website to test the speed of their shipping, which was much faster. Anyway, that's all leading to the fact that I had not actually gotten Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30, because I still haven't decided how I'm going to get the comics. So I went to their table on Friday, I think it was, and saw that they had regular issues and some variant covers, and I was like, I'm probably going to do that. And of course, didn't do it right away. I didn't actually have cash on me, and since cash is king, I wanted to make sure I did that. Didn't make it over to their booth to purchase anything again until Sunday, and when I did, the regular ones were gone. So I had to pay a pretty little penny as far as a comic book for this, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 30, Lord Draken Evolution 3 variant cover. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. The story inside is absolutely spectacular. We got to hear little bits of this story before I had even read it, actually, at the Shattered Grid live panel, which was just amazing. I'm pretty sure that's up on YouTube now, so watch it if you haven't. It's absolutely spectacular, and there were some elements from this in here as well. I will tell you, to explain this, because I actually had some people ask me about it here at the convention, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 30 is the penultimate episode to the Shattered Grid storyline. But the end of that story is not MMPR 31. MMPR 31 is going to be starting the next arc of the comics called Beyond the Grid. MMPR issue number 30 brings the story to its conclusion, its big final moment, its denouement, if you will, which is a one-shot called Shattered Grid number 1. That comes out on August 28th at the end of this month, and of course, I highly recommend it because these comics are amazing. However, in life, one cannot just consider items of swag, as it were. We must allow for some culture, a little bit of art. And now these prints that you can put on the wall, yes, technically speaking, they're art and good for them, but you must have something more solid, something more statuesque. Not an actual statue, though. Just artwork that stands up a little bit more and was just drawn to be artwork. For example, this lovely Q-Pop piece that was done by a scribble on the Pink Ranger's leg. That the only purpose for that line could be a signature, but it is really just a scribble. Anyway, to drop the voice, this is a fantastic piece that was over at the art gallery shop there. As you can see here, if you can't quite make out what it's supposed to be, even with me showing it closer in more detail here, it is each of the 6 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers striking the same pose and so divided 6 ways, you know, just showing kind of their unity as a team. It just lines up very nice, and it's a very good looking piece that I'm going to be happy to put up in the room. That brings me to the final 2 pieces, which are related and does actually step back into the category of swag that was provided by the convention. However, they were additional cost items. As I'm sure you know I'm discussing about by now, I am talking about the Lord Draken figure. Which, by the way, this figure was made by Bandai of America. It is a Bandai figure, not a Hasbro figure. You can see the logo. You will notice that even though I have had this figure for a few days now, he's still in the box. Let's do something about that. And just like with Power Morphicon itself, that wraps it up. That is everything that I bought or was given at the Power Morphicon convention. So that's going to wrap this video up. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching and being patient with the fact that this suddenly had to switch over to the iPhone. Again, I'm still learning about attending conventions. I don't usually bring my YouTube camera to MomoCon with me because I don't really have a reason to shoot any of my YouTube videos there. So this was different, and I apologize for that, but I really am focusing on grinding out and getting videos done for the channel. I wanted to shoot at least one Power Morphicon video here, so I did. And I'm happy to have done it, and I hope you were happy to have watched it. In the comments below, let me know the favorite piece of merchandise that you saw me display that you wish you could have gotten if you didn't attend Power Morphicon, or you're kind of kicking yourself that you didn't get if you did come to the convention. Trust me, there's stuff that I wish I had gotten too, so don't worry about a jealousy thing or anything. We're all there in one way or another. Subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos, and you'll hear me talk about this in a later video, but I'm going to get content coming out, and I am definitely re-inspired to grind out on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and get in on where this is going. And if you want to lend some financial support to that, which is also something I'm thinking about changing and working on, but for the moment, you can head over to digitaltipjar.com/OrangeRangerVid, toss a little tip change in there, and I'm grateful for anything you toss in there. Until next time, heroes, may the Power Morphicon protect you.